If you have ADD or ADHD, well, first of all, you have nothing to be ashamed of. If you're a kid with ADD, I feel bad for you, because that's the hardest part. There's so many authoritative figures in your life telling you to do things, and they're things you want to do, and you want to make them happy. But there's something in your head that doesn't let you stay focused and remember to do them. And to most adults, it sounds like you're telling them, screw you, I don't want to. And it sucks, because it's really hard to explain, that's not why I'm not doing it. I do want to. I want to make you happy. For me, it was, let's say I was on the computer, and my parents came in and said, you have to have the dishes done by 6 o'clock. And I'd say, okay, it's 5:30 now, I'm going to get started soon. And then somebody would message me on the computer, and I'd be like, oh, I have to answer this person first. And then whatever just happened with my parents and the dishes, within moments, is just gone from my brain, completely. And it's not because I don't want to do the dishes. I would much rather do the dishes than get in trouble later for not doing the dishes. It wasn't there anymore, and I couldn't understand why, and neither could they, and neither could most people. To them, when you don't do something you're asked to do, they'd come back in and be like, you know, when you tell us that you're going to do something that we ask you to do and you don't do it, it's like a slap in the face. It's like saying, F you, Mom, F you, Dad. And I would always just be like, no, that's not how I feel. Not F you. Don't F you. I want to do the dishes. I just forgot. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I forgot. And it just makes you sound like you're a child with Alzheimer's or something. I don't know. It's not fair. And it was totally impossible for anyone to understand, including myself, until later in life when I found out. All ADHD is a smaller amount of this chemical in your brain called serotonin. Serotonin is the chemical that tells you this is important and you need to do this. It's the focus chemical. And when you have a normal brain, I guess, if that whole computer dishes situation had happened, some of your serotonin would have gone to the internet conversation and some would have stayed in the dishes. So when you were done with the conversation, you could go do the dishes. When you have ADHD, all your serotonin, which is not that much, goes to whatever is in front of you right now. So it's not really easy to say, Mom and Dad, it's my serotonin levels. It's not my fault, because part of it is discipline, sure, and having to make up for the fact that your brain has less of this little chemical. But unless there's someone next to you going, go do the dishes, go do the dishes, go do the dishes, you're gonna forget to do the dishes, because there's a lot of stuff in front of you all the time in the world, all the time, especially now. So I guess that's kind of what medication is. If you end up taking medication, it's like somebody standing next to you going, go do this thing you were thinking about earlier. And it just sort of tries to balance out that thing that you've never had before. The very first time I took medication for ADHD, I was like, what is this? I can do this, and then I'm going to do this. And I actually just did both things. And that was enough to shock me. But then the whole day, I was in college, and I was going from class to class, like, do my homework. I might actually do my homework. And then I did my homework, and that was the first time I've ever done my homework. That felt really good. Is this how normal people's brains work? Because they are so lucky, and they don't even know it. And it's easy for people. People are always going to tell you, there are always going to be people who say ADHD isn't real. It's an excuse for lazy people. First of all, shut up. Second of all, it's proven. It's proven. Go look at my brain chemicals, but don't. It might hurt. I don't know. The fact is, you have nothing to be ashamed of, and there are a lot of benefits to having a brain like that. And it might not be obvious now. It's definitely not obvious in the traditional school environment. I had a hard time in school. But if you use the fact that your brain's a little bit quicker because you don't hang on to old things. I don't know if this is true for other people with ADHD, but if I'm mad at somebody, and this is probably not a good thing to share, but I'm sharing it. If I'm mad at somebody, if somebody really upsets me, I will probably forget about what that even was in 10 minutes. I can't hold a grudge. I literally can't. And it's not a terrible thing. So that's one little perk. But other than that, my brain works really fast. I answer questions faster than a lot of people. You can probably do that too. It's just the serotonin thing. Like, you don't have anything holding you back from thinking about what this thing is. You know, a lot of famous people in history that you've definitely heard of. Historians now are wondering if maybe they had ADHD too. If you've ever seen the movie Amadeus, it's about Mozart's life. He had it. He had it. And historians agree. That guy was crazy, hyperactive lunatic. But he was good at music, and he was creative, and people with ADHD tend to be creative. And if nothing else, you must know, if you forget to do your homework because of your serotonin levels, your brain's going to be like, okay, let's think of a quick excuse. Maybe I'll make the teacher laugh. Hey, all right, I didn't fail. And that's your only mechanism. So, that was my only mechanism. That's how I got out of high school. But first of all, that doesn't seem fair to the rest of the class, who was like, oh, because I went home and did my homework, and this is ridiculous. I didn't know I could just come in and tell a joke and get off the hook. So you just, there's people that judge you. There's people that tell you this isn't real. You're just lazy. And for years and years and years, you might sit back and be like, I'm just lazy. I'm just, for some reason, 1,000,000 times lazier than everybody I've ever met. And that must be something I can't fix, because I've been trying my entire life. And if you don't get help, if you're too proud for yourself to get help, and if you don't learn how to work with the brain that you have, you're going to end up like a lot of adults who have ADHD and don't know what to do with it, and they just sit around and they do nothing because they're scared. They're scared to try anything. They're not going to finish anything. It's okay to get medication. Be really careful with that, because the medication they give you for ADHD is like Schedule 2 or Schedule 3. It's like really, really illegal for anyone else to take, because it's kind of dangerous. It's in the same family as meth and cocaine. So I'm not saying medication's bad for you, because that would be an overreaching statement, but in small amounts, the smallest amount that you can possibly have. And then once you find out that you don't need it anymore, stop. Work with your doctor. Doctors know stuff. Work with a psychiatrist, because they know a lot more stuff. Like, doctors will tell you what's wrong with your broken leg, and they'll be good at it. They don't know too much about the brand new drugs that just came out for ADHD, other than, some briefings they read, and a lot of doctors overprescribe them. As long as you always keep in mind, don't want to get addicted, don't want to be on too much, don't want to feel like I'm tweaking out. If you always have that in your head, and you take breaks on the weekends, and you don't always take it all the time every day, and it doesn't change you, as long as you have all those things in your head and you're concerned about being yourself, you're going to be okay. It's the people who are like, I want more of this, I want more and more and more, who become addicted, and then they move to street drugs, and it's not good. I've gotten a few, a lot, actually, of emails and comments telling me, I have ADHD too. It's hard. It's really hard. It sucks. And I'm like, oh, God, I guess that is what I said in my video, that it sucks. And keep holding on. But it doesn't really suck, guys. We're different. Einstein had ADHD. He failed all of his school, all of it, up through high school. He was just like us. He could not do his homework. He could not focus. His teachers did not like him. He was disruptive. He was hyperactive. But then one day he sat down and he was like, physics, physics, physics. Because the cool thing about ADHD is you can't really focus on day-to-day stuff very well, but you can hyper-focus better than anybody. So once Einstein found his calling in life, which was physics, 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 he was like, I got this. Everybody leave me alone. I need zero distraction. This is incredibly important to me. I want 100% of my tiny serotonin to go into this. And he changed the entire world of science. And Mozart changed the entire world of music. And a lot of the comedians you know and love, they got it too. Can you tell? So just keep that in mind. Find what you love. Don't get so discouraged that you stop looking for things to be interested in, because it is so worth continuing to look for that thing. If you're like 15 years old, you haven't a clue. I bet you don't even know. You may think that you know what you want to do. I wanted to be a graphic designer when I was 14. I can't draw. I don't know. I think I just picked that because I had a project due. But I held on to it because I was like, look, a thing. I really want to be like 100 things. But I'm hoping that there's a special combination of those 100 things that maybe isn't around yet. And that's going to be my thing that I do. And I don't know. Life's hard. But don't give up, and don't ever be ashamed of your ADHD. And when somebody tells you it's not real, just give them a nice laugh, because that's funny. It's so funny. So in conclusion, find what you love, do that thing. When people try and mess with you and make you feel bad, just get out of here, guys. You don't get my brain. That's it. Just keep going. Don't stop. It's going to be really tempting to just give up. Don't ever do that.